Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Steuben County Board of Commissioners meeting Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. The first item on our agenda this morning is Mr. Isaac Lee for Steuben County Economic Development.
Thank you, Commissioner Howard, and commissioners and staff and delegates. Here to present to you today a continued conversation that we've been having in regards to wastewater and water services, potentially to Pleasant Lake residents. Back in the fall, we held a couple series of meetings with individuals in and around the community, those that had concerns or cares about that potential. That further went into December 17th meeting, where we got the parties together and there was a direction kind of given at that point. We've since then had contact with BS Engineering, and they presented us a quote, which I've given in front of you, to do a couple different things, really identify two different options, potential options, giving us a lot of answers to some questions we just don't have today. So that quote is in front of you. Those two options are there. The information provided in that document kind of spells out what those. There'll be a lot of interjection from various parties throughout the conversation. It's roughly about a 24-week contract for services, which would start at the point of execution. So I will be happy to answer any questions if you have any. But I believe the information in the proposed contract and limit given to you is pretty self-explanatory.
Thank you. Questions?
I do not.
Questions for the engineering company to follow?
I believe we're at this time. Can address those at that time with the engineering company.
So we did budget for our project ready line item, $80,000 to be used for anything that we choose to put funding towards, which can be done with this, or we talked about the 200 West Corridor project. We've been down in Indianapolis quite a bit this year for other projects. So I don't know if you want to put more thought into this, or if you're ready to execute this.
I think I'd like to get this to at least a point that we know what it's going to cost, and then we can actually decide whether the residents are going to be for it or not. I think until we get to that point, we're still going to be a guess. It's 108.
Yep.
Can I make that motion?
Second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? No. Favor signify with aye.
Aye. I'll proceed with BS Engineering. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Thank you for your understanding. Coming, Board of Commissioners this morning with three topics to discuss it. The first is a request that was submitted to you for some training. It's a 4-day course, cost $650 for public safety
UAS. This would be a drone operations course. Information is there that's laid out. It's a 32-hour course at the end with the prep program for the FAA Part 107 exam to be taken. It's being held in Fremont, sponsored by the Fremont PD in May of this year. And this would meet one of the benchmarks that was agreed upon when our agency and the health department purchased the small drone that we have in our office at the event last year. Budget for that. There is money in the training line items for that. Yes.
Questions? Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Thank you.
Is that Andy, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
The second item that I would like to present to you this morning for consideration and potential advancement moving forward is the possibility of or creating a intern position for this summer with the EMA office. I had a young lady reach out to our office, a resident of Steuben County, who is a Believe in Angola high school graduate that is currently attending Indiana University in Indianapolis and pursuing a field or a degree in a field that would align with emergency management. And she reached out asking whether or not we have any internship opportunity. I'm aware that the county does or has had in the past intern opportunities with agencies, the health department, the county highway. And at this time, I would like to ask for consideration to be able to explore that with the resource office. We've done some research. We're looking at 13 weeks during the summer would be her eligibility to be for a paid position of $18 an hour, no more than 30 hours a week, which would mean that I would need, I did the math here, it would total just over $7,000 that would be needed to fund that position. Currently, there's $23,296 in the part-time line item that we have for our office. The vacant position of the deputy director that we will still be looking to fill. The money is there. I would also be willing to look at opportunities to supplement income, bringing that in, the Earning the Ed program that I know that Chip has spoken about with the county highway. We would be eligible for that. We just have to apply for that process. There are several things that we've talked with both Indiana University, Indianapolis, and myself of things that this young lady could do in our community, some of which would be helping develop the 4-H Fair Incident Action Plan, working with the town of Fremont during Music Fest, assisting our office with the Boy Scout camp programs that we do, work on updating some of the county plans and having completed at least one full review on her own with guidance from our office, participate in the Steuben County Health Department Safety Day, work on developing a community outreach program. In addition to all of those, I would request that she would attend at least one county council meeting, 2 commissioner meetings, be active in our LEPC, our District 3 EMA meetings that we do, and then at the end of the program that she would address the commission herself in an effort to answer public speaking opportunities and discuss what she has learned over the course of the summer. It would kind of be the capstone that we would do for the internship program. So I would welcome your thoughts and the questions that you would have to be able to continue to move forward with that.
I'd be willing to, along with this, if you're willing to give up those funds out of your part-time line item and fill that unless you can supplement that with other funding.
Always kind of been under the parameters of we create a position, not for a particular individual, but because of the need of the position.
And along those lines, sir, if I may, I think that this is something that we could sustain, continue to sustain as an opportunity for this internship program, given that Trine University is here locally as well. Granted, most of theirs are either nursing or criminal justice, but there are opportunities in the emergency management field that would align with either one of those, to where this could be something that could be advertised at Trine University locally or other universities in the area in years to come.
To my point, again, I like your thought here on this, but I think you would have to open it up to other candidates.
Understood.
As far as the funding part, and he's got a part-time budget right now, I can fill it out.
There's no budget.
It stays within part-time budget. So there's other funding that you find available.
And as mentioned, I believe that we could look through and apply for that in Indiana opportunity, and that's a reimbursement back into or assistance with the program funding.
I think that motion, as long as you open this up for further applicants and also stay within your part-time funding, unless other funding that's secured for this program.
Second.
Does that need a job description?
It'll be part-time, so then
No, okay. Any further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye. I think the last item that I have for you is some discussion. You're all aware that last year as the second year that the countywide exercise for the active threats within the community with emergency responders. One of the gaps that was identified in the exercise was that first responders that were responding to the incident were having difficulty identifying where they were being sent. And as we utilize the county fairgrounds out there are 15 or so buildings that are on the fairgrounds. Not everybody that we have in our community that's responsive or responder anymore is a native of Steuben County and does not know the difference between the hog barn, the sheep barn, the cattle barn, dairy barn, poultry barn, et cetera, et cetera. Even though there are some signs on those that identify them. But in the heat of the moment, they're unable to do so, and I can have difficulty with that. The recommendation that was made in the after action review that was done was looking at the possibility of coming up with a numbering system similar to what we find on our homes with an address indication put on the buildings in 2 locations, one on either end. And that would be a common entry point. It's been done with the Boy Scout camp, the Anthony Wayne Area Council did this at the Boy Scout camp in Pleasant Lake and went through a numbering system. It's a small tag that is on the buildings that then identifies the building with the number, more or less giving it its own address. I know that a year ago or so, we went through the county campground and created these address markers, if you will, for the lot numbers to help identify those as emergency responders are coming in. I would like to pursue the opportunity or pursue further investigating with the park board and the park department. I've already spoken to someone, Scott and Ben, about this, but let's move this forward to where we can put signs on the buildings up the fairgrounds. Furthermore, we had some discussion with the safety committee about looking at possibly putting numbers on the doors to our public buildings as well. If you look at school buildings around the community, they have numbers on their doors, identifying where they are, what entry you go in, when emergency responders are coming. We have several public buildings that the county owns that are not that way. The difference between the break room entrance and what may be the wash bay entrance at the county highway is one side of the building versus the other. And again, you may be entering into the office when you could go in through one of the side doors. It would just be something to consider, putting a number on the side of the doors or on the doors, as well as the signs on the buildings. Looking at the information that we've obtained from the Boy Scout camp, they made signs at roughly $9 a piece, and we're able to put them on the buildings. Out to the Boy Scout camp, if we did the same style sign at $9 a piece, it would be a $270 investment for the signs to cover the buildings out to the fairgrounds. And then that information can be transferred to our local GIS and uploaded into communications on their computers.
Does IC, instead of commands, have a standardized building numbering system?
Typically, when it's done like the face of a clock. You know, building number 1, 2, 3, 4, as you would go around a campus. I would think that we could take that into consideration. We could get the input from the sheriff's office, Engel Fire Department, and have them involved in the numbering system so that it would make sense. I believe that if you're making an entry in off of the main entrance by the event center, in my mind, that would or should be what would be building number 1, and then proceed on around through. Yes, when you get down to the core of the fairgrounds where everything is around Wrench Hall, it could get a little dicey, which again was what the issue was. We're sending them down and they didn't know where they were going.
It also makes sense for our community building. The numbers.
Everything we have should have, should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, I did call Austin and I asked him, I said, do we have numbers on our doors? He had to go look and said, no, we didn't. So,
It's deals you walk in and out of them every day and you don't necessarily
correct.
Yeah,
pay attention till you ask.
Correct.
I give Austin some marching orders to investigate
Yeah,
what that would look like.
yeah, obviously, I think you want a little better signs than the ones that these guys would do a bad job, but that's probably more of a metal sign with the reflective numbers on them. Right, yeah.
You're talking about for just this building or
I
also?
think that do the whole campus and even
the mall.
the North Station,
And the 4-H.
everything we have. Highway department. Is yours done, Chip? Do you have it? No? Yeah.
I think you have marching orders to take a look at it.
Okay. All right. That's what
All
we'll do.
those you think you need to involve.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's a good idea. Thanks. Members, good morning.
Good morning. So, first of all, I want to thank you all for allowing the Engel Performing Arts Academy to use the auditorium. Without usage of the auditorium, we cannot have theater productions. So it's really important for us to have a partnership so we can have youth engagement through the performing arts in that way. I have sent Abby some dates we requested for the summer. So those are what we need to look at as trying, in the past, we've used trying some, but as we grow and grow and grow, we need to utilize our community auditorium for community theater use if possible. The community kids, the kids that come from here, and we have done an adult show in the past, but we can only do adult productions with actors as long as it benefits our nonprofit. Most of the youth are from Steuben County. We do have kids that come from neighboring counties, Ohio and Michigan, that come to be part of our programs. So I'm asking to utilize the auditorium possibly in the month of June. So that's my first request.
Just the month of June?
For now, and then for the fall again, I'll get dates for the fall. So we did just have a fall show, and the kids came in and they would rehearse in your in the community center's auditorium. And then the final performance was actually at Tryon University Youth Center. And it was a great location for the kids. It was central. Tammy did a wonderful job stewarding the space because she made sure doors were locked and the kids and families felt really safe in the building. So thank you for that.
Questions from the 15th through the 29th, from 9 to 4. It's on 6th and 27th. It's 30%.
That 14th through the 29th is just weekdays. not
Yes.
weekdays.
So it's Monday through Friday and then Monday through Friday with a Friday evening performance. And then it's Saturday day.
They do sell tickets, but it goes back to the non-profit.
Yes.
Okay, so you're not, no property.
No. No.
No, we want to have that on record. Sorry.
I believe in the past, what we've typically done for these, we charge the cleaning deposit and the time. It's necessary to call out time.
What time will that be done on your, like Friday night, 6:30 to usually 8:30, 8 o'clock?
Yeah, we should be out by 8.
Through
The RC at non-profit rate, which is big fee and any overtime occurred.
What is the overtime cost?
It's based on her salary. So I'd have to look and see what her,
It looks like it would just be on Saturday, most likely, right, Austin?
Friday and Saturday.
She's here all day.
I don't see.
Okay. 9? Okay, there you go.
Abby can calculate that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's likely to be minimal.
Thank you.
Good, a second.
Discussion.
Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next order of business for us is so the Anglo Performing Arts Academy and Youth Art Gallery, we kind of do a lot of different things. Like right now, we have an active youth art gallery in the building located at 45 South Public Square, which is like our Republican building, which literally butts up against Commissioners Park. And so far, that's been a great success. We bring in artists from all over the country, and they have 6-week shows there. And currently, right now, there's a bug show. Very cool stuff. So the art has to be something kids would enjoy to see. It has to be created by youth, or it has to have youth in the content somehow. So we do have a visual art component to what we do as an organization. In fact, tomorrow we start an 8-week art club for middle school kids. So that being said, placemaking is important. The building is kind of the backdrop to Commissioners Park. So it's the long, you know what I'm talking. And we would like to do some placemaking there. I had sent Abby a proposal that an artist had come up with. And the proposed initiative is commissioning and installing a large-scale dimensional bas-relief mural on the exterior of a nonprofit community arts and performing center in Angola, Indiana. It represents a sophisticated convergence of artistic creation, capital infrastructure improvement, and rural creative placemaking. So, and because it's a historic building, you know, we can't paint on the brick, but with using bas relief, it's actually anchored into the mortar, so the brick isn't touched at all. So at this time, we're asking to have access to be able to use scaffolding at the time when we do put it up. And maybe further discussions on engagement from the commissioners financially to help with the project.
I assume you have insurance?
The property owner has a holding. I could check that out.
I mean, we'd have to allow them, even if they were doing regular maintenance on that building, access to that.
Yeah.
That side of the building.
The access I'm not really concerned about it, but then just placing scaffolding on property and then there's an accident.
Well, I suppose you're, like somebody having an accident at home, I mean, their homeowners would cover it, your insurance would cover it. And if there's other insurance, then there'd be either a prorate.
Sculptures are quite whimsical.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Motion to approve.
Access.
Thank you.
Second.
Access not necessarily participation.
Correct. Correct.
You have, yeah, the numbers are in the proposal. Yes. Yeah, so it would be the only bas relief sculpture in the state. And a lot of the cost is incurred because they have to be molded out of fiberglass. So and so creating the pieces is really what the expense is, a lot of it.
Have you approached any other entities yet? Or
Well, if we couldn't have access to the building, then there's just, so you guys were the first stop. So right now it's with the Historic Preservation Commission, with the city. So hopefully collectively, because there are a lot of grants available, but we need to show some kind of engagement locally and then some type of matching funds. So we're working on that. That seems a little high, but I could do a better breakdown for you. It is a little confusing because he gave like a cheap, he gave a less expensive option, which would be instead of bas relief banners to do just vinyl banners. So he gave,
yeah, right there. Yeah. I guess to get you started. Okay, the use of property.
use of the property, and then,
Yeah.
the point where you're looking for additional funding, you can always come back and ask.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Just keep in mind that SB one's gonna make things tight for a lot of municipalities here in the next couple, 2 or 3 years, so.
Well, hopefully, again, there's grants available. And any engagement on any level is welcome. Doesn't have to be a lot, so.
You have Andy, one, Rick, two.
Yeah, I did the motion.
Yeah.
I do have one last request as we move to this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Any further? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Okay, item,
As we're looking for grants, it would help us a lot if we had a letter of support from the commissioners saying if they think it's a good idea. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Colleen, you talked with Austin about the sound system in the auditorium.
Not yet.
She was wanting to know that the hookup to wireless mics and like that for the kids. Okay. I'll get your number and I'll give you a call.
Okay, so thank you.
Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I have 3 things today. The first one is a contract provided by Corson. This was sent to Jim Honeygotis. He had been working with Corson and they are requiring, the manufacturer requires a 12-year maintenance on their kitchen. The quote provided to you shows a price of $2,109.64. This is a 12-year maintenance.
You're just lucky to be in that 12-year, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know how it works, but it's been the last 7 years. Shoot.
You use them?
What's that?
Do you use them?
The hoods, yeah. Yep, quite often. I mean, every day. Yeah, because they're above they steam a lot. And then they fry them, not fry, but grill a lot too, so. They're always engaged.
Expensive systems, but when they're needed, they work.
Yeah.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next one I have is some rough contracts for trash service and recycling, just to show you that there is some savings out there. It's going to be more affordable. I have not gotten the official quotes yet. Kind of just rough drafts for you guys to look at. So it's like the commission to proceed with getting the official quotes.
It was close.
Yep. More or less an update for you guys.
All right, perfect. Thank you. And work through those. Got one.
So I was working with JICI on the lower portion of the annex for the first piece takes place down there. They did provide me a quote that they sent, a revised quote yesterday. They kind of polished it up. So I have those for you and I apologize for having these on just now.
Were they able to split out the,
So it is separated by line items. That's something they also had to do. They had to add the door hardware on there. So for the door, it's line item 30. That is $3,403.
that's installed?
Yes. The quote as a whole, which takes care of adding an office, combining 2 offices into a larger conference room and then the door, and then adding an office on the public defender as well as the gate. The overall cost of that is $25,156.
The other bid was only just for the door, didn't include the rest of it. Yeah, they put it.
So he, for time's sake, he provided a quote that was without the hardware for the door. And he only provided the quote for the door.
Yeah.
I was trying to get him the quote, give me the other quote as well, but he did not get it to me in time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at. Right.
Door seems to be here.
Right. Yeah, I see, if you split just the door out, that is the cost for installation and all.
Yes. There will be one additional cost, and that will be with, so that door is gonna be a key fob. That'll be just, I don't anticipate it being a whole lot. That'll be running wire for the, receiver.
Yeah, that's right. So.
You want to put a time frame on that?
With that, I can push for it to get done as soon as possible.
Yeah, whether it's 2 months or 6 months.
I'm the contractor, I'm gonna want to do it before the price goes up on the door. It's your choice.
So we'll split for that.
I did not hear that. What was that?
The lowest bid for the door installation.
Second.
Discussion. Just make sure I'm looking at the right numbers. 3761 versus the 3403.
Correct.
Any further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We're getting that done, Jason. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I heard Mr. Stuckey. So I have kind of a special request here this morning, a little odd, a little different. We've got an airboat that was donated to the office 2011. If I have the year wrong, I apologize. Within a year or two of that.
All right, I remember when that. Was.
Yep, that was, Dick Poe passed away, owned the Speedway. His family didn't know what to do with, had some ideas what to do with it, but they graciously donated that to the sheriff's office 2 years prior to that. Ourselves and the skirt team were on a big push because we had lost a few people through the ice we were very close to, meaning in distance, and we didn't have any equipment to get to them. So unfortunately, those things occurred. We went on this type of a headstrong operation to try and raise funding. The Pope family was willing to give us this, and Englewood Fire Department purchased one. They've got a nice unit. We've had this for a number of years. If you look at the picture, it's got the biggest motor on the smallest boat you can get. So for us, there's not it's a wonderful rescue. It's just not, I don't know how to say without sounding harsh. It's difficult to operate for the circumstances that we need it for. We need a bigger boat. With the same engine, it'd be fine, just needs to be a bigger boat. It sinks quite easily. And it has several times in the past. You can only get 4 people on it and that's it. And 4's pushing it sometimes. I wouldn't even bother. So we can't dive off of it. It's difficult to do things, but it is good for ice rescues. So here's what I'm asking. If we could please sell this, put that funding in our vehicle funding, and then we go on a mission to find a nice boat that we can use for Marine Patrol. Center home, something that we have now, smaller boat that we can get in and out. This boat has been wonderful. It's nice to have. Thank the heavens we haven't needed to use it for any type of through the ice operation, but it's sat for the years that I've been sheriff and the years prior. Every year it's run the gas out of it at the end of the year, put it away and get it back out in the spring kind of thing. So I think it's time that with the age of our boats, we have 2005 is the newest patrol boats we have. 2 of those are 05 and 1 is a 93. So the motors are good. We replace motors on all of them, but the age of the boats is getting there. So this is an avenue to save us some funding so we don't have to go look for money. We have it there right in front of us, and maybe we'll trade in one of those older boats as well after we sell this. Now, we've contacted the company that built this boat, Diamondback Airboats. They're out of Florida. They are more than willing to sell it for us. I think it's a pretty special thing. That's the other ask here, is that we don't put it on the auction site. I think it's like a custom race boat. So we let them, we would be happy to deliver it. Of course, it's cold and it's in Cocoa, Florida. So it's a 16-hour drive to warm this. They're just outside of Orlando. So we'd like to take it down there. They've given us an estimate, a rough estimate. We sent them photos. They remember when they sold it or gave it to us. We had to go down there to train how to use it, which was let's say they got a heck of an operation down there. So they're giving us an estimate. If everything looks as though it does in the photographs, roughly around 40, 45, they believe they could get it for that. They'll fix everything when we get it there. If there's anything that needs to be fixed, they'll take care of everything. So, and then we'll just hopefully get a phone call that it's sold. Here's some funding.
You only have 1 center console built right now, right?
We have 2.
We have 2. Those are the way to go.
One is, those are the way to go. Work out of those. Absolutely. We have one we have an IO.
Right.
It's an old family
It's up in the North Station,
that we purchased, and that thing,
Yeah.
it's not easy to work out of.
Right.
You can't even fit the seats with the duty belt on.
Yeah.
So everybody sits on top of the seat, which breaks about every year.
Right.
You know, the Chaparral, it's a beautiful boat.
Yeah.
It makes somebody a good family ski boat.
Right.
Not us doing
That
patrol.
makes sense to go to those center consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, that's what I was looking at, is possibly trading that in wherever we find one.
Makes sense.
And then use the funding from this and just get a newer, doesn't need to be brand new, but get a nice boat.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Good.
Is that a motion? That is my motion.
Second.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Sheriff.
Thank you, Jeff. Have a good day.
Is Erin here today?
She will not be here today, so if you have
These are
any
just
questions.
standard, these are same things we execute every year.
Correct.
We're using PHP.
Motion.
Discussion.
Aye.
Okay. Good morning, Nathan.
Yeah. Commissioners, everyone,
Morning.
I'd like to volunteer to take the sheriff's book down Florida.
I think you have 3 people up here that already.
Right, from the waiting list. Anyway, I am here this morning to request an increase in my purchase limit. So right now I've been very often utilizing my verbal approval process. Commissioners or in here, depending on what it is I'm working on. And everything I purchase is over 500. So it makes my paperwork constant as far as that. And so I was going to request an increase. I was thinking $3,500, but still keeping in contact and communicating on the different projects I'm doing so that you're aware of what we're spending. I'm confident with the reports I get from the auditor's office as well as my own process that I have as far as keeping track of my budget that it does change.
We've done this for
Just about everybody. It's long overdue for a lot of these, the prices are such that you're not gonna buy a computer without. You're not gonna buy a phone without Comcast, you're not gonna buy anything.
Yeah.
Crying out loud, it works. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, if they make a motion to allow the 3,500 request.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Very much. Have a good day.
That was it.
Mr. Porter?
Guys are ready. I got 2 NDOT LPA vouchers that I need approval for. The first one's for DES number 22-016-18, PD claim 24, amount of $7,360.20 to Lockmiller Group. That's for Bridge 37. Second one is for DES number 23-00187 for PE claim number 1, and the amount of $31,974.70 to DLZ, and that's for countywide bridge inspection.
Motion to approve the LPA vouchers.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Not all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Sorry. Excuse me.
County Road 200 North, we're still waiting on NDOT to finalize their final audit. 100 North, 200 West roundabout, we're set for a letting date of February 11th. We're expecting NIPSCO to start relocations on February 23rd. So I already approved DLZ, who's our design engineer, to go ahead and stake right away so that it can begin. There's some additional funds there that will cost that, but I have funds set aside. We'll be able to pay for that. And then we might go out and do, depending on how NDOT's schedule falls, we might go ahead and do the
dropping of the trees that was being questioned for that, depending on how. We're gonna be for that part of the schedule. Polk Bocce South Phase 1, we're still waiting on the final appraisals so that we can begin right of way acquisition. Annual material bids, I reviewed them. I have the bid there. I have submitted bid tab, word letter. You guys will approve that. I can go ahead and reach out and start ordering materials. Official approval.
Motion approved.
Second. Thank you. Discussion. None, all in favor, signify by
Aye.
Thank you. Right, I've already signed that form. I'll be reaching out, I'll get that out to all of the bidders, plus sending out post quantities for the same roads program. Speaking of draft road program, if you guys have any questions or comments about the proposed 2026 road program, if you don't have any, if I can get official approval on that, yes, so I can order materials.
Motion approved.
Second. I know for some people, this road program isn't fast enough for their roads, but we appreciate you moving forward on a scheduled basis to continue to knock these off.
I'd like to move faster too, but there's, like I try to explain to people, there's only so many days you can actually do the road work. And even this is a very impressive program for us. We're working on the schedule already for the summer. It's a lot of work.
limited time and limited funds.
And limited equipment and personnel.
They aggressively go after it. They appreciate it. All right,
Any further?
hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
On the next thing, I do have a couple of the people have reached out and have requested pricing to contract for conversion of chip seal, which we have done in the past. Instead of doing individual contracts, I thought I'd just ask you to approve a price and then I can work out and I can have people sign the contracts and just bring it to you if that's what we decide. And I changed how I did it. I was always doing it in square yards, but I was making the road 20 feet wide. So I know what it is. It's easier for the homeowners to gauge. So I did it as linear feet this time. So the linear feet cost would be $10 a linear foot. That's acceptable.
The conversion is just chip seal. That's not,
Correct.
is it chip seal and a fog seal or just?
So this year it's, we make sure we grade it out to 20 feet, compact subgrade. Then it'll be a dust stop, which is a liquid spray.
Yeah.
Layer of 9s, a layer of 11s, and then we will chip lock it on top. So that's all included in that cost.
$10.
It's materials only.
Seems inexpensive.
Seems like a good deal.
Looking for a motion.
Go ahead. I'll make a motion to approve.
A second. Any further discussion? Not all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye. Thank you. Then I have a draft 10-year program. If you guys have more questions, that's fine. You don't have to approve the draft 10-year program today. But I wanted to keep rolling it out there until you guys are comfortable with it. There is talk at the State House about moving the potential lane mile disbursement from June 30th, 27 up to June 30th, 26. This year's program. I set everything up so that
in 27 would be the first year we start applying for federal aid grants, and that's what I'm gonna use that money for anyway. If they move that up, we won't have that until, or even knowledge of it until June, and then I won't have time to prep 100 North as a grant project for Falls Call anyway. So I'd still be on that same, I'd still be looking for October of 27 to go after that call. So I don't know if you guys have any more questions or if you guys want to move forward with it as is.
Those are all projects that I've seen for several years, trying to get worked on. It's unfortunate you have to plan that far out. I understand how it works.
And are they switching to lane mile?
There, so in the current legislation, they have decided that they were going to give municipalities that have wheel tax an additional distribution once a year. And that's based on their lane mile network. Then, depending on how, if they follow through with it or not, that's supposed to affect how much you can ask for in community crossings. You're still community crossing eligible, but they're talking about, well, you can only get the difference between community cross, that $1 million cap, and what didn't you receive through your lane. It really isn't an incentive for people to go out and get wheel tax, because the more of us that get wheel tax, oh my gosh, we're gonna be somewhere between 700,000 and 1.1 million. If we're at the 1.1 million, now I can't go after community crossings. And all I did was basically get community crossings funding guaranteed every year. And those who don't go out and get wheel tax have a smaller pool of competition to compete for the money, which the whole point was, is supposed to incentivize them to go get their wheel tax, help themselves. So hopefully they remedy that now at the State House and just make community crossings what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a grant opportunity for local government themselves. And originally when they created community crossings, it was you had to have wheel tax to be eligible. They should just follow their original intent.
So you said the lane miles were for municipalities only.
Well,
Or is
local
it for the
government,
whole county?
counties,
Okay.
and cities and towns.
The counties passed the minimum, so they call it.
Yes.
What they do.
Initially, I thought the lane miles was gonna actually hurt the counties, but
Well, it depends on how they
actually it helps the county.
sort it out, and it could be a double-edged sword if they, you know, if we are close to that $1 million for community crossings, but under it, you know, you're going after a grant for $50,000 or $150,000. It gets pretty nominal right there. Then you're kind of on that back end of, well, I could have got $1 million for doing nothing, but we're doing what the state wanted us, just trying to help ourselves by having no tax. So we'll see how they sort it out in the end. Hoping that in the end, follow what the original intent community crossing was. I also have, working through the Ozark Crossing Grant, with Indiana Northeastern Railroad. There's some signage. They're gonna do more. But there's some signage and there's some guardrail materials they're having a hard time. So we're saying, and I just open bids for all that stuff and we can buy it cheaper than they can buy it. Would you guys be okay if we bought it and we just held that back out of any reimbursement that we give to them? Miscellaneous 2025-1, those quotes are due back Friday, January 30th. Same striping program, those quotes are due Friday, January 30th. I do have, Mr. Shaggy, you can sign this letter for me.
Okay, just so you know how it's sitting there too.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. And we do have our pre-trade unit up and running. We got that fixed, so you will should see us hopefully for the next storm, be able to go out and start doing some pre-treating. We're getting close to finishing our CDO course that we're working through with our guys, so we should have some guys starting to graduate with their Class A's, so that'll be exciting. And that's all I have. It's good.
Thank all these guys for working
Yes.
yesterday.
Thank you.
They were out longer than I think they anticipated. Right.
Hey, Jeff, you need these?
Keep going. January 9th payroll, $617,122.17.
To approve.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Financial comparison reports. See a copy of those. Discussion, questions? None, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Clerk's treasurer report. Second.
We've received a copy for the review.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Pleasant Lions Club wants to have their, I believe they changed it from minstrel show to variety show. Or correctly? Something to that effect. So there are some rehearsals.
Do something these days didn't conflict with any or performing arts.
They do not. These are in April.
Awesome.
I'm guessing Debbie's already checked that out anyway.
Yeah.
And again, it looks like our standard not-for-profits. Motion.
Like motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? None, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
I was saying a couple of weeks ago, I did attend one of the Lions Club's meetings and so had a nice chat with everyone there. That's a great group of people and they're always trying to help their community. Super big. Approval of our monthly conflict of interest forms for all the various claims.
We are having them sign one. Call it done.
All right.
As per request.
Right.
So I don't know what else to do. We literally had a box. How many were in that box? Over 200 for just for Bill's told me.
Yeah.
So I told him, sign one, you're done.
Take the heat on that one.
Okay.
Motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? None, all in favor, signify with aye.
My apologies. Who was first on that? Was Chris. Thank you.
Have some minutes to sign. Number 7 is Amy Biddle, is that correct? Yes.
Public Defender's Office.
Public Defender's Office, continuing ed. Agreement, employment agreement.
Similar agreement that we've done with
EMS,
County Highway.
County Highway, yeah, art management class. Second, Rick. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye. Okay, approval of 2026 planning commission report.
Like to put down for the planning commission, put that on our meeting, because I've had other interests. The parties that contact me, next for us to all see those different choices.
Can you remind me, is there a process by which, because that's every 4 years, right?
4 years.
We put that out for, do we advertise that for interested parties, or is it just always been, okay,
Whoever they
whoever?
request,
So I would like to.
because that's a board in itself.
There's a political
Balance. Well, we have an
But
appointment.
it is our point.
well, some of them are your one.
These two are, yes. And I guess I would like to see this come to us in, December before the expiration, so we could have those names to actually in our January meeting to approve, instead of now seeing them and they're already expired. So their term expired December 31st.
So yeah, so probably have some type of a, maybe in November,
The notification put out.
notification put out that, and even those who are on the board that want to be or would like to be reappointed should probably submit a letter of interest along with anybody else who might.
I believe there's forms actually that they fill out.
Yeah. I don't remember ever seeing a form.
What?
They do for BZA.
Yeah.
That's a BZA is a little
Okay,
different.
maybe that's BZA, yeah.
So we can table that till next month.
BZA, I haven't had any other interested parties say anything.
I think it would still be, first of the month, still be before the next meeting, so.
First Wednesday, the meet, first Wednesday
Right.
at 5.
And then yeah, so it's
It'll
like,
be on Tuesday.
we'll be on
The day before.
we'll be on the 3rd.
Okay. Do you want to advertise that out there now?
Yes.
Advertise.
Prospective board members for plan commission. But I don't know. You said the political makeup makes a difference on this?
Yes, on the plan commission it does, yes. You
You
have
haven't
to
done
have,
away with that yet?
Huh?
They haven't done away with that yet?
no,
Just
you have
Board
to
of
have-
Aviation.
you can have any political party or independent or, they don't vote in the primaries and, but there is a balance on the appointments. I don't know what the makeup is right now, of who's what. You know, it's not a topic that comes up, but there has to be equal among the appointed members. You know, you have the surveyor and the
Commissioner, no,
Building
Yeah.
and planning director?
commissioner. Huh?
Yeah.
And then there's the agriculture representative.
There's 5 public, 4 are appointed, not 2 can be from the same party. They don't have to be 2 Republicans or 2 Democrats. There just can't be more than 2 from the same party. So you could have a communist, a green, and 2 Republicans, or,
Libertarian.
yeah, but just not more than 2 from the
Don't
same.
vote for a primary at all.
Thank you, Bill.
So we need to figure out who the other 2 appointments are, or that are currently still on, that aren't up. See what their
We can
political
get that,
makeup
we
is.
have that in our records.
Aaron's a Democrat. I know that.
pretty good idea what the,
I think both of them are
yeah,
Democrats.
these are the two.
What's that?
These are two affiliated with the same party.
Well, in the past, when there was Democratic, we reached out to the county chairman and asked them to make recommendations too, because commissioners didn't really know who.
I don't think we have to worry about that, because there's already the Democrats on there.
Okay,
I think these are probably both Republicans, or maybe one each, I don't know which.
I'm pretty sure.
They both are.
Well, I'd say that it'd be nice to have some type of letter of interest from them if they're already sitting on the board, and then any other who would be interested.
Yes.
Very good. Table that. Meeting minutes from January 6th. Also much for having those all nice and cut up and wonderful. It's nice.
That's
to
all
see.
our,
Or
our
it's
phone
like,
behind.
it's the new device.
It could be both, and still, it's very simple.
Yeah.
Do you like the new device and how it breaks stuff down?
Yeah.
It's unbelievably accurate. That tiny little credit card thing.
Motion?
Motion to approve is presented.
Any further discussion? Aye.
Aye.
Let the record show that we signed plats P-25-29, P-25-32, and P-25-31. We predict this, the budget is like a year, don't we?
Which one?
Book budget. Yes, of course.
I don't know if we did or not. I will check though. Yeah, either way, yeah.
I haven't seen our building that you're there. I think
I think we have participated.
Yeah.
The task forces doesn't really have any authority to binding us to anything.
No, but it's a good group to,
But it's an overall picture.
yes.
It has. It's creating some issues.
Yes, and that money goes to advertising and sites and small work plannings. Okay,
That's probably gonna be where it's coming from, but there might be, you might check with the sheriff. think he was going to have, he was coming in under budget on the Appalachian Trail. Appalachian Trail budget. There might be room to sneak that in there. Or it may not be allowable either.
I don't know. Along the lines, Abby, did you get the letter of support?
Yeah, I did. I put it in there.
So. I guess we can do this. How about if we just go ahead and get an approval for it and take it from the same place we did it from last year?
Yes, that's what you call.
You can look that up, can't you?
Yes, we can.
All right.
Is that your motion?
Sounds like your motion. I will make that motion.
I'll second.
It's just trying to help formulate it. Any further discussion? None, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Okay, and you have claims. And just claims. Any questions? If not, I would take a. Hey,
Make the motion to approve. AP claim, dated 1/20/26, $871,879.36.
Okay.
And that's it.
second. Further discussion? All in favor signify with aye. Go ahead. One other item, we have an appointment to the Angola Plans Commission. Currently, Susan Ralston, and she has agreed to continue in that position unless we want to do the same thing with that as what we've done with the other one.
That's a non-voting.
That's an on,
Yeah, I don't think I have a problem with that.
I make motion to continue Susan also.
Sorry.
And then go ETJ discussion.
So I have a motion by Rick, second by Andy. Susan Ralston. Any further discussion? Favor signify with aye. And we have a letter of support for Allen County's rate application for the Bokabachi Visionary Care.
I'll make a motion to approve. This is the same one we did last year. Just updated.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye. You need me to send that to you then, Abby? You need me to send that to the letter of support?
No, I can't. Just go to
Yes. No, it'll go to,
Secretary of Transportation.
Ken Castleman, the leader of the Bokabachi, and you can CC myself and Jen Sharkey.
Okay.
Anything else? For the good of you. I think you all did one. I was gonna do that to start out with, but I might.
Don't get me wrong, I'm pleased that they won. I'm very pleased that they won.
I didn't take. I feel the same way.
I'd even felt the same way if it was Purdue.
Don't bait me.
Anything else, ladies?
Or not?
Recess. Thank you.
So Don, what IU proves is with enough money and a competent person to evaluate talent, you can win.
That's the key, evaluating talent.